now joined by Louisiana head coach Billy Napier and student athletes Jock Boudreaux and Kevin Dotson. Coach Napier, if you can start us off with an opening statement, and then we'll get to questions for you and your student athletes.
Well, certainly honored and privileged to represent the western side of our conference. I think it was a challenging year, certainly for our staff in the first year, but very pleased with the fight that our players showed. You know, I think certainly didn't get off to the start that we wanted, but I think this group showed that, you know, it's grown quite a bit throughout the season, overcame some early losses, and certainly put ourselves in position down the stretch to be in contention, and pleased with that. I do think this has been a great team to coach. I think it's, you know, it's been an honor for me to get to know these guys and be their coach. And we've enjoyed this journey together. It's been a lot of fun. And, you know, we're not finished. We've got a couple games left to play here. So we're excited about the future of our program. I think we got off to a really good start here in terms of what we want to do, what type of identity we want to have as a football team and as a football program. I think we've got a program that's built around really investing in the players. I think it's all about development here. I think we've got a really specific plan for those guys relative to who we want them to be as people, what we want them to accomplish as students while they're at the University of Louisiana, and certainly making progress as football players, not only as individuals, but certainly collectively as a team. I think we have outstanding leadership. Our president, Dr. Savoy, our athletic director, Dr. Maggard, the investment that they've put into athletics. I think they've got an overall understanding and a great vision for what we're trying to accomplish. And certainly we appreciate the support from the university community, our fans, alumni, everyone that's been behind the Cajuns down the stretch here. So I would like to really thank my staff. I think that's one of the things that we did a really good job of. We've hired a tremendous staff, not only the coaches but the support staff. And I think all of those people should be commended for the job they've done throughout the season. Done a really good job with this team. I think this team bought into what we were trying to do. And I think as we just continued to grind away, got better at our process, we played better football down the stretch. And we made tremendous progress just in terms of the intangibles that we play with, the type of teammates that we have, and the type of togetherness that we want to have here. So very pleased with the progress that we made and excited to participate in the championship game.
Again, a reminder for you to silence your devices at this time. If you've got a question, please raise your hand. We'll get a microphone over to you. Remember to indicate your affiliation as you ask your question as well. Start in the back.
David Rogers, Blowing Rock News. Coach, what challenges do you see in App State, more, you know, most serious of challenges, I guess, and what did you learn from the last encounter that you had with them here that you're going to bring into this game?
Well, I think Appalachian State has a program that over time has really proved to have some stability. I think the coaching staff has done a great job. Obviously, a lot of respect for Coach Satterfield and what he's built here. Certainly it wasn't great in the beginning, a little bit of a rocky start, but they've stayed the course and they've got a really good football team. This team in particular has a number of weapons on offense that can be difficult for you. I think they've got a really good quarterback. Not only can he beat you with his arm, but he's got great mobility. He can extend the play, and he's really a threat to run the ball as well. Veteran offensive line and a really good group of overall skill players. I know they lost the running back early, but still a talented group at running back. Certainly plenty of playmakers at receiver and a solid group of tight ends that really allows them to be versatile. I think defensively it's a great football team. They've got an identity. They've been running this concept for a number of years through a couple of different coordinators, but they do a good job creating negative plays, creating takeaways. Difficult to run the ball and difficult to get the explosive pass. So offensive and defensively, they work well together, I think, is what makes them hard to beat. And certainly their team speed create some issues on special teams, but oftentimes comes down to matchups. They've got a good couple of returners as well. So it's a good football team. Certainly have proved that throughout the year. We've got a lot of respect for them and look forward to competing against them.
Cody Nunez, Louisiana Radio. Kevin and Jock, Coach has pointed back to the first trip at App as kind of maybe one of the turning points of the season. For each of you guys, what was it about that trip that maybe turned the season for you?
I think personally from a team standpoint, last year, we had that 63-14 loss, and I think a lot of people kind of held their heads and didn't know what they quite to expect. Coming in as we did the last time we played them, I think we showed a lot of spunk in this team that, we can hold our own and we can play. And ultimately, we look forward to compete tomorrow.
I feel like this game, the first game we had, just kind of proved to us that we can play. Like we belong here. There's no need for us to get beat that bad like we did last year. Like that shouldn't happen. But we know that coming together now that we can really do anything we feel like.
Questions? Back.
Hey, Coach, Adam Witten from App State Radio. Can you explain why it's important to continue to use both Nunez and Lewis at quarterback?
Well, I think we've got a unique situation in that we've got two players that I think can play effective football for us. I think it's a dynamic that you're going to continue to see in college football, whether it's the University of Alabama, University of Georgia. Certainly, I think the biggest thing for us is I think our players have tons of respect for both of these guys. I think we had a very competitive battle to decide who the quarterback was going to be. Certainly, Andre being a senior, being a little bit more established, he won the job. He performed better in training camp, put himself in position to be the starter. But Levi is also a tremendous leader on our football team, a guy who really represents everything that we want our program to be about in terms of the type of teammate he is, the integrity that he has, his work ethic, his attention to detail, his self-discipline. So I think he's deserving to play. And I think in my opinion, coaching the quarterbacks along with our grad assistant, Matt Bergeron, we feel that it keeps our backup more engaged. He knows he's going to get to play, so he has to prepare at a high level and certainly puts you in a position where if you were to lose the starter, you got a guy who's battle tested, and has been in there and made some plays. So we've been fortunate that Levi's played really well when he's been in the game, and he's led our team to a number of scoring drives. He believes in himself, our staff believes in him, and certainly his teammates believe in him. So I think it's a unique situation and one that we're fortunate to have.
Other questions?
Chris Lano, Louisiana Radio. Coach Napier, just Andre Nunez, can you talk a little bit more about his overall maturation process throughout the season? It seems like he's gotten better and better each week.
Yeah, I'm really proud of Andre, coming in the door. We had 6 quarterbacks on scholarship, and, it was a little bit of a battle relative to 3 guys played. Deion Ray played quite a bit as well as a Wildcat quarterback. So we had a healthy competition throughout spring practice, throughout the summer, throughout training camp. But I think Andre really established himself as one of the hardest workers on our team. Not only physically, completely changed his body. I like to challenge the quarterbacks to be the best conditioned player on the team, regardless if you're the best athlete. So I think he took an approach in the identity program that he was going to really challenge himself. Dramatically changed. I think he went from like 19% body fat to 7% body fat. Really leaned up, added good weight. Really improved fundamentally. I think where he made the most progress was just his football IQ, his overall understanding of the game. Our summer program for the quarterbacks is pretty rigorous, and he just dove into that thing 2 feet in. and I think he's made tremendous progress. And I think as the seasons went along, he's proved that he can be a very effective player. And certainly, has led our offense to a good year. So very proud of Andre. And excited to watch him finish strong here in the last 2 games.
Any additional questions for coach or student athletes? Jay.
Jay Walker with Louisiana Radio. My question's for Kevin. You guys came into this season, you and Robert were the starters that were returning from last year, and there was a competition at other positions. And now the offensive line has got a 1,000-yard rusher, a guy who's got almost 900 yards rushing, and another guy who's closing in on 700 yards rushing, all in the same season. My question for you is, how were you and Robert, to an extent Cole as well, able to go ahead and work with some of these other guys, which has enabled the team to have such a running attack?
I could say our whole front five is we come together. 5 as one is what I'm saying. We always say. So you can't think too highly of yourself. You can't put yourself above anybody else. So when we come together, it's not me and Rob. Let's see if we can just run on this side. It's the whole line has to do their job. That's the only way we're going to get our little bit of praise, We don't really get that much talking about, so when we all do it together, it makes it easier.
Any additional questions? All right, gentlemen, best of luck to you tomorrow. Thanks to Coach Napier, Jock, and Kevin. If you have any additional interview needs or information, please see a member of the Sun Belt Conference staff there in the back of the room. We'll see you tomorrow morning at Kid Brewer Stadium. Thank you all.